Adventure team, assemble! Not. Adventure time! Loaded.
Travel information here. Inquiries welcome.
Ready.
Feels like a whole new Paimon after those 2 days in the... Still, spending the Kaholasaurs... Oh, and Atea's snacks were yelling at some kid.
Hey, you guys. Sleep well last night?
Yep, this area...
Glad you like it.
Hey, Mualani!
Yeah? What do you need?
The team sent
And Kachina?
Kachina, but don't worry.
That's a relief.
Exactly.
All right, thanks for letting... Jeez, she sounded a little anxious there.
Mualani, like, think... nothing...
At a glance, it certainly... But through our long... 500 years ago, the Abyss... That's right. And Natlan was the worst affected of all. It took the combined efforts of the then Pyro Archon and Hero... Even so, the effects of the invasion lingered for hundreds of years, only able to be reversed little by little. Our tribe's waters were contaminated. The Children of Echo's territory was overrun by dangerous sludge surging from underground. Unrelenting black winds tore across the lands of the Flower Feather clan. It was like each disaster was designed for a specific tribe. Exactly. We once thought that the Abyss's desire for destruction was a sort of primal instinct, but its methods are, in truth, marked by intelligence. We now believe the Abyss has invaded the Night Kingdom, and has the capacity to read the memories of this land at any given moment.
And that's how it became so dangerous and cunning. Almost like it knows you inside and out.
Yes, and that's why we've been unable to fully eradicate it, even after all this time. Luckily, the problems left behind by the Abyss have been successfully addressed by the various Pyro Archons we've had over the years. Now every tribe is prospering and things are looking up. I mean, just look at what we managed to do a few days ago. We totally fought them off.
You must have had to sacrifice a lot.
Every battle, every responsibility. But I believe we will be rid of the Abyss one day. To think that my name could survive in ballads passed down to future generations, it's kind of romantic. Everyone has something that drives them forward, you know? We have to. Not only for our... Anyway, let's head to the stadium. The sea's not going in. Of course. No one's gonna miss out on the chance to welcome our heroes back from battle. It's their moment of glory. Kachina's gonna be so flustered. She's never had this many eyes on her before.
Yeah, she doesn't seem like the kind of person who likes being the center of attention.
Looks like I'm just in time.
Kinich, you're here!
Yeah, a commission ran longer than expected, but I made it. I heard about the incident with your tribe, Mualani. Is everyone all right?
Yeah, it's all taken care of. Our new friend here's got some tricks up his sleeve, by the way. He's just as strong as Kachina.
Hey, look! Is it about to start?
That's right. Someone will come out and recite a eulogy, and then we'll sing the Ode of Resurrection together. Come on, let's find a spot with a good view. When the singing starts, just follow my lead and you'll be fine. Let's go somewhere higher up so Kachina can spot us.
Warriors of Natlan, heed the call of life. We are the inheritors of memory and legend. Those who grew alongside sun and wind. Those who forged our own destiny and future. That is Natlan's fire, the lifeblood of our nation.
I could not find Kachina within the Night Kingdom, or locate her ancient name.
What?
What does that even mean?
Usually once the Ode is complete, the Pyro Archon and resurrected person will emerge from the flames. But something went wrong.
What's going on?
This has never happened before.
Well, I think it's pretty obvious. Clearly, the team sent to fight the Abyss didn't win after all. Think about it. The Ode rekindles all victors. We've witnessed it countless times.
Since the Archon couldn't find Kachina in the Night Kingdom, that must mean there's more to this victory than meets the eye.
Hey! You just haven't gotten over the fact that Kachina beat you in the pilgrimage!
Pathetic. The both of you.
Your wild guesses are misplaced. We completed our mission.
Maybe you did, but who's to say whether that little girl even contributed at all? Maybe she got scared and ran off. Why would the YUP recognize someone like her, even if she was on the winning team?
How dare you insult a hero of Natlan like that? Kachina sacrificed herself to repel the Abyss. She doesn't deserve to be subjected to your vile rumors when she's not even here to defend herself.
Calm down, Mualani. There's no point arguing with the likes of them.
I can't just sit here and let them slander her like that.
To insult a hero of Natlan, the person actually has to be a hero.
You...
Think about it, everyone. Who do you think is really at fault here? A girl who never should have even gone to war? Or the great Pyro Archon? Why would the rules of our nation suddenly stop working?
That's true. If she wasn't revived, it must mean she failed to achieve victory.
Maybe the YTTA interpret victory in different ways?
I mean, that girl didn't look all that strong to me.
Kachina wouldn't have run! That's not like her at all!
No! She's been waiting for this moment for too long. No matter how daunting the situation, no matter how scared she might feel, she's always the first person to stand up and face it head-on. We don't even know what happened, so don't you dare try to use this as an excuse to vent your anger or slander her reputation.
Fine. We'll find out what happens soon enough. Then, we'll see who truly deserves glory.
That's enough. There is no doubt about today's victory, or Kachina's part in it. She is a hero worthy of our admiration and celebration. However, the failure of today's ceremony is undeniable. Kachina has not been rekindled, and I offer you all my deepest apologies as I continue to investigate this matter. To prevent further casualties, I have decided to suspend the pilgrimage until this matter is resolved.
What?
No one is all-knowing. No one is infallible, not even myself. But doubt is a means by which we seek the truth, not a weapon we wield against others.
I didn't mean it that way, Archon. I just...
If there are things you wish to clarify, then ask me directly. Doubt my answer if you wish. But now's your chance. You have concerns? State them.
No, of course not.
Even though I have said nothing to change your mind, then it would seem the truth never mattered to you at all.
That guy doesn't even have the courage to answer the Pyro Archon's question. So much for all that glory talk earlier.
I have a question, Archon. My friend Kachina. Do you have any idea where she is? It's extremely important to me. I know you said you were investigating the situation, but I'm sorry, that's not enough.
I've already shared everything I know. If you want to learn the truth and rescue your friend sooner, you should join the investigation. So, what do you say?
Of course I'll join.
In that case, come see me in the
We should join them.
Oh, and if it's not too much trouble, could you drop by as well? Rest assured, everyone, I'll keep the tribal chiefs informed on the progress of the investigation. Once again, I apologize for the outcome of this ceremony.
Did she just ask us to come along?
I believe she did. Let's go. I'd like to know what's going on myself.
The situation is urgent, so I'll get straight to the point. Kachina is undoubtedly a hero of Natlan, and I'm deeply sorry this happened to her. There's been unrest in the Night Kingdom, but I don't know what's causing it. As a result, I've been unable to track down her location. Until we find and address the cause of the unrest, the Ode of Resurrection will continue to be ineffective.
And that means Kachina won't be able to come back?
That's correct. Not until the problem with the Night Kingdom is resolved.
How long will that take?
It's hard to say.
Kachina always dreamed of fighting the Abyss, of doing her part to defend Natlan. She wasn't afraid of death because she knew, if it came down to it, the Pyro Archon would be there to bring her back to life. Whenever we sat down together, exhausted from training, she would always hum the Ode of Resurrection. She was supposed to come back to us. We were supposed to hug her and celebrate with her and share her joy. We supported her every step of the way, but what are we supposed to do now? Sit peacefully and wait for her return? Lose ourselves in grief over her death? Tell me, are we her friends? Or her murderers?
That's not fair, Mualani.
It's all right. I understand your rage and your grief. Kachina's life means a great deal to me, Mualani. Believe me, I want to bring her back as soon as possible. I would give you that peace of mind if I could. But please, hear what I have to say so I can at least give you a broader picture of the issue we are now facing. Considering the recent attack on your tribe, I believe the Abyss has found a new means of undermining the rules of our nation.
You mean...
The Sacred Flame. The foundation of our resistance against the Abyss. If we continue to hold the pilgrimage and send teams to fight the Abyss, there will likely be more casualties. But if we stop altogether, the Sacred Flame will only grow weaker. The Abyss will scale up their attacks, and the tragedy we saw with the people of the Springs will only be the first of many.
If we compare the two choices, the former seems to be the lesser of two evils. Sorry, I know that may sound harsh, but I bear the name Malipo. Weighing the costs is my duty. The raw truth can be cruel. But we need to understand it if we want to approach this rationally.
But what would you say, Mualani? This is personal for you. And unlike Kanich, I dare say it's not a simple case of weighing up which course of action is less painful, is it?
No. I can't choose between them, and I don't want to. Saying that one is preferable over the other is disrespectful to the people who suffered.
You're saying it doesn't matter whether I suspend the pilgrimage. The consequences will be equally painful.
Yes. What happened to Kachina breaks my heart. But I couldn't bring myself to sacrifice other people for her sake.
And that is the crux of the problem. It's not simply a matter of choosing the lesser of two evils. Either way, there will be people who suffer. And the end result will be the same. Belief in the pilgrimage will waver. Once doubt has crept in, the people will no longer unite in battle against the Abyss. And that is exactly what the Abyss wants. Their ultimate goal isn't to break the rules that make the Ode of Resurrection work. It's to destroy the people's faith in them. To prevent what happened to Kachina from happening to anyone else, we need to suspend the pilgrimage. So that is my current plan. And in the meantime, I've made efforts to strengthen each tribe's defenses. Then, we have to find another way of strengthening the Sacred Flame to keep the Abyss at bay. This won't be easy. I'll need time to figure out the best approach. I understand your anger, Mualani, but I hope that provided some clarity at least.
Wow. Hyman thought things were gonna get heated for a second, but the Pyro Archon took the time to explain everything so patiently.
I owe you an apology, Archon. I let myself get carried away earlier, and I'm sorry. You're right. We need to focus on finding solutions.
We could always hold the pilgrimage without sending a team to fight in the Night Warden Wars. That way, we would still be able to fuel the Sacred Flame.
I've considered that, but the two events have nearly always been linked. Without the chance to fight the Abyss, pilgrimage rankings lose their prestige, and competitor numbers will drop. With fewer participants, the amount of contending fire produced will decrease, and the vicious cycle will continue indefinitely.
So, essentially, the Abyss is taking Kachina hostage.
You've learned about the concept of ley lines during your travels, yes? The Night Kingdom is something similar. Staying there for a short period of time shouldn't have an effect on the person. But with the Abyss in the picture, it's a different story. Your sense of self will be devoured, until eventually you become one with the Sea of Souls. Imagine pouring a cup of water into a rushing river. You can try to scoop up another cup, but I won't sugarcoat it. That is the danger Kachina is currently facing.
Just like you said, Archon. Both of these problems need to be addressed. You can focus all your efforts on dealing with the Sacred Flame. I will go search for Kachina.
The Abyss poses the same threat to you as it does to her. It is very possible you will not return.
Kachina's waiting for us to rescue her. That's all that matters.
I failed to protect her during our campaign, but I can make it up to her now.
Traveler? What do you think?
Understood. Then I'll support you. The Masters of the Nightwind have a technique that can extract an ancient name from the ley line. If we can find Kachina's ancient name, I can use the link between them to pinpoint her position within the Night Kingdom. Then comes the hard part. You need to visit the Night Kingdom.
But isn't the Night Kingdom a land of so—
Under normal circumstances, only the consciousness can enter. But there is a way to go there in person. However, know that the Night Kingdom will attempt to repel you, and the Abyss—
That's fine by me.
Same here. Fighting the Abyss isn't—
So, Paimon's the only one who's scared? Well, if you're going, Traveler, Paimon's going too.
Lali of the Masters of the Nightwind once created an artifact that it was originally used as a ceremonial artifact wielded by the tribal chiefs.
That was the artifact I delivered to the Scions of the Canopy a few days ago.
Thank you so much for your help, everyone.
Your thanks are unnecessary. I will offer you whatever aid I can. Besides, you're the ones helping me. I can only focus on one thing at a time. Traveler, I certainly didn't expect our first conversation to be so serious. I've heard all about your accomplishments. Ever since you arrived, I've been hoping to meet you and offer you Natlan's highest level of hospitality.
Why?
Why? Is that not what happened in the other nations you visited?
Yeah, things were pretty complicated at the start. And, you know, in the middle. But our reputation's solid nowadays.
That's more like it. After all, I've heard you're someone who transcends fate. Perhaps even more than you can imagine. But we can talk about that some other time. Ideally, this would be the perfect night for a drink and some musical ambiance. But there are important things to be—
Oh, I almost forgot. YTTA was wounded in the fight against the Abyss. She wanted us to give this to you. It embodies fond memories and my strength of will. That's what she asked us to tell you.
I didn't think this day would come so soon. The flames of her life force. I can feel them flowing within the talisman. If things were different, the two of us could have enjoyed the hot springs together while she gave this to me in person. We're supposed to be hot spring buddies after all. But don't worry. This talisman means a great deal to me.
You said you didn't want to jeopardize the production of Contending Fire. But that's not at all why you decided to suspend the pilgrimage, is it?
You're right. Even now, the production of Contending Fire is far from sufficient. The gradual corrosion caused by the Abyss has resulted in a massive shortage of pyro energy, and we're currently at the breaking point. As things stand, the pilgrimage is a lost cause. Suspending it allows us to save our strength to defend the tribes. The Abyss has brought catastrophe to Natlan, and Kachina's disappearance in the Night Kingdom is a direct consequence of that.
We can't let the general public know that.
No. If the public learned that Natlan's destruction was close at hand, but if I said nothing at all, they would have continued to question the integrity of Natlan's
Another simple choice. The latter was clearly the better solution. But you chose otherwise.
I have never subscribed to the belief that the right choice is the one with the fewest sacrifices. Let's go. There's still a way for the sacred flame to last a little longer.
You mean...
Yes. Come with me. The sacred flame must never go out. Not only does it strike fear in the abyss, but it's also the pillar of Natlan's stability. So until our heroes are ready, I will sacrifice my power to keep it burning.
But that can only last so long. I think we should focus on the remaining ancient name-bearers.
Don't let desperation cloud your judgment. Those chosen by the Wyab have already embarked on their destined path. It is for them to decide how that journey ends, not us. All we can do is support them.
Even so, for you to make this sacrifice, it's not right.
If not me, then who? No other is capable of sustaining the sacred flame. I possess great strength, but I'm not above my people. This is part of my duty.
Archon, it's the Fatui!
The Archon of Natlan. A force to be reckoned with. The secret of the ley lines is no secret to me. Long have they been destined for ruin. And since the oath made 5 centuries ago remains unfulfilled, what use is the Gnosis in your hands?
I don't know what you mean. But it sounds like this is about more than the Tsaritsa.
In times of crisis, someone must pick up the mantle of salvation. Your plan has reached an impasse, and now it falls to me to create new rules for Natlan. But before the dawn of a new age, the old must be destroyed.
I assume that's the end of your speech? Good. People like us. Let our blades do the talking! Masters of the Night Wind. Send word. The captain and his followers must be apprehended.
Are you alright, Archon?
He was a formidable opponent. Exactly what I would expect from the first of the Fatui Harbingers.
I never imagined someone could match you in combat. If the Tsaritsa sent him here, why would he bring up what happened 5 centuries ago?
Yeah. And how much does he know about Natlan?
The Harbingers are all driven by their own personal goals. The only purpose that unites them is collecting the Gnosis. But I'm sure the captain has his own reasons for being here as well.
Whatever his motive, we should shift our focus to the Fatui. If they attack again, and we're not prepared, we're done for.
No, we're running out of time. The wound I inflicted should hold him back and weaken him for the time being. Besides, I'm sure you noticed, the power that came to his rescue just now came from the Masters of the Night Wind.
In other words, there are traitors among us.
Not necessarily. This could prove to be a very valuable turn of events. When we exchanged final blows, I sensed an unusual presence within him. I'll need to investigate further. Kanich, go to the Masters of the Night Wind and look into who could have aided the captain. Speak to Sitlali. She should know.
Of course, I'll head out right now. Do you still intend to...
Yes, but fear not. Natlan's strength has never rested solely in its Archon. Together we foresaw the only path that leads to our nation's future. We must trust in that vision now.
Is everything okay, Archon?
Completely fine. Just lamenting the fact that I never got a picture when I could still turn my hair into flames. Too late now. I just hope the others have a safe journey.
What's happening at the stadium? Did something explode?
It feels like the Archon unleashed her power. She must be fighting a formidable opponent.
Should we go back and check what's going on?
Have faith in the Archon. She wouldn't lose in a one-on-one confrontation.
Once we find Kachina's ancient name, we'll head right back.
Okay, let's just keep climbing.
That's Wyna, the tribal chief. Let's head over to him.
Chaska.
Nice to see you again, Wyna. I'm afraid we don't have time for pleasantries, so I'll get right to it.
Whoa, hold on a second.
My friend Kachina is trapped within the Night Kingdom. We need the stone to find her ancient...
Rescue her? From the Night Kingdom?
That's right.
I'm sorry, but someone needs to tell you what you don't want to hear. Going there, a mature warrior, the nature of battle is unpredictable. You never know how it's going to end. Losing a friend is tragic, but when that happens...
I appreciate what you're trying to say, Chief Wyna. But if the price of maturity is abandoning a friend in need, I'll choose foolishness any day.
I thought you might say that.
Is something wrong, Wyna? This doesn't seem like you. Life isn't complete without taking risks. That's always been your mantra.
It's nothing. If you're that determined, far be it from me to stop you. Here's the stone.
Thank you.
Huh. Seems like you two go way back. But aren't you from the Flower Feather Clan?
Oh, Chaska's a peacekeeper, so she's famous throughout the tribes. She's always the one people call to resolve conflicts. So we slowly got to know each other that way. Her younger sister Quichi's always hanging around our tribe too.
Oh, you have a younger sister?
Yes. I'll introduce you to her sometime. But let's get back to business. Wayna, how do...
As you probably know, your intended destination is completely different from the real world. The Night Kingdom is like a river flowing with concept. In that sense, the stone is like a fishing boat drifting down the river.
We couldn't do that ourselves.
With a little practice, I'm sure you could. You have the strength.
Who?
Vichama, a legendary warrior and scout from our tribe. He's got a keen eye and a well-honed intuition. Even his ancient name means to seek. If you're
Vichama?
What? He's one of YTTA's hot spring buddies. I've heard stories about him. Where can we find him?
Ever since Malko passed, he spends most of his time gazing out at the scenery from the cliff tops.
Thank you. We'll go.
Good luck.
Someone admiring the scenery. Hello there, are you Vichama?
That's me. Did you need something? What? You're saying you can bring someone back from the Night Kingdom? No, if you really think about it, anything.
Are you okay?
Everything's fine. I'll help you. After I help you find Kachina's ancient name, I want to use the stone.
Your friend? Oh, why not mention someone named Mal?
Yes, but I'd rather not get into it if it's all the same to you.
That's not a problem.
Yeah. Since you're helping us find Kachina's ancient name.
Then we're agreed. I see. From what I can tell, it functions almost like once the connection is established, the abyss will come surging through the opening like a predator honing in on the scent of blood.
Wow, you got all that.
I just picked up on the basics, really. I still have no idea why it works. I'll go find an open area and start setting things up.
We'll go right away.
First, I'll need some hook ropes. Pretty much every store around here carries them, so no need to go anywhere.
Wait, are you saying you're going to use a real net to catch Kachina?
By creating something tangible in our world, like a net, we can create a connection to a corresponding concept in the Night Kingdom. Basically, I'm going to use the concept...
Oh, I see.
Right. I need two chunks of obsidian. Once we bring the ancient names into our world, normally you can only get obsidian from the Children of Echoes. But I heard there's a traveling merchant from that tribe.
Gotcha!
Alright, let's split up. See that clearing? Let's meet over there when you're done. Oh, and you can send someone with me if you want. In case you're worried I might...
What do you think, Chaska?
There's no need. Lena spoke highly of you.
I appreciate it. Even though that... Anyway, it'll take some time to set everything up, so no need to rush.
What an odd guy. He seems so defeated, but also really invested in the stone at the same time.
I don't have any more insight than you, Paimon. Hang on, Kachina. Hello.
Hook ropes? As in rock climbing equipment?
Yes. How much? Oh, the whole deal.
Wait.
What, you want me to drive down the price?
Oh, no problem at all. I'll even pass along some information on the house. These ropes are... All right.
Now we need the obsidian. Let's go talk to the...
Excuse me, do you sell obsidian?
Why, yes.
Perfect. Is that...
That might be tough.
Thank you so much.
Relax. Everything's going...
I know, it's just... Kachina always carries all sorts of shiny stuff.
Well, would you look at that? I did bring an extra. Here you go, young lady.
Perfect! Thank you. How much do...
If you hadn't shown up, these stones would have just sat here collecting dust. Here you go. How's he doing? Malco's been gone for 5 years now.
Do you know what happened between...
I heard about it in passing while I was out drinking one night. But I don't know. Malco was an amazing fighter, capable of knocking out multiple opponents in a single hit. 5 years ago, they both emerged triumphant, but on the eve of battle, the Abyss launched an attack on their...
Then what happened?
The team agreed that he couldn't fight the Abyss, and Vichama didn't argue. He knew going to the front lines with an injured leg would make him a burden in battle. It's just... Malco and the others ended up facing hordes of abyssal monsters, and Vichama went into a deep depression after that. He blames himself. Oh, you're not wrong. But it's possible he chose... I've tried convincing him to move forward. The Abyss has caused so much suffering, and some wound. Anyway, that's the gist of it.
Did you get everything?
Yep, it's all here.
I've made all the necessary adjustments. As agreed, I'll help you find Kachina's ancient name, and then go ahead. After Malco fell, I scoured the battlefield to see what happened. It turned out he wasn't bested by some impossibly powerful foe. He was If I had been there, I would have been able to sense the danger. I could have warned them not to advance. I've always blamed myself for what happened. But when you told me...
But that happened several years... The Pyro Archon said all life within the Night Kingdom eventually...
There might not be much hope, but I still have to try. Malco and I promised each other. All right, let's get to it. I'll start... Make sure you prepare yourselves for battle. As I said, the stone will link the mortal...
Look at that golden thing! It must be one of those fragments Vichama... mentioned. Let's get closer!
Hard-hitting it?
The tides beckon.
Settle down!
How much longer, Vichama?
Not long. We're getting close. Take it! I found Kachina's ancient name. Hang in there, Malco. Just a little longer.
Something's not right. The power of the Abyss is getting stronger.
The Abyss is corroding his body. Vichama, you can't keep going. You'll die.
I should have died 5 years ago. I just need a little more time. Please, I'm almost there. Thank you.
Whoa, watch out! The power of the Abyss is strong.
This power.
Hanging in there?
Malco. No! Why can't I find him? Why?
We can't wait any longer. Pull him away from the stone, Mualani.
I already tried, but the power of the Abyss has him in a chokehold. It's like he's tied to the stone with an invisible rope.
In that case, we have no choice. I'm sorry, Seat Molly. Get back!
Chaska, wait!
Ouch! What happened just now? It looked like the Spirit Speaker's stone was...
The stone's power was spiraling out of control. The only way to stop it was to destroy it. You were all caught in the shockwave of the explosion.
Give us a heads up next time, will you? You're lucky we managed to dodge it and...
I thought I said to get back.
Yeah, barely a second before you made it go poof. Not everyone has your reflexes, Chaska.
Okay.
At least Kachina's ancient name is still in one piece. Vichama!
Vichama!
I couldn't find Malco's ancient name. Once your ancient name disappears, there's no coming back. From the very... And now... It's too late to save him.
Vichama.
I'm sure he's heard enough condolences over the years. Let's just...
Huh? What's that in your hand?
Huh? This is...
Hey, Malco. Got any strength left?
Not enough to swing a sword, but to say a few last words. Sure.
Too bad. No one will get to hear them. I never thought I'd actually die on this mission.
Guess I have something to be thankful for then. My parents died a long time ago. Pisak! Always had to beat me at everything, didn't you? Maybe you're right. Maybe no one will get to hear our last words. Vichama, I'm so glad you didn't come with us. Don't be sad. Just keep on living. For the both of us.
Was that a memory?
Seems like we were able to salvage something after all.
Of course. Seeing him, hearing his voice again, it makes me... But... It also...
A deeper pain.
Malco was always the type to put on a brave face. But in that memory just now, for all these years, I regretted not being able to fight alongside him to the end.
Vichama.
I'm fine. Actually, I heard Chief Wyna wasn't really on board with your plan to go to the Night Kingdom. When you asked for my help, I hesitated too. I knew helping you find your friend's ancient name, but I also understood why you had to try. Once allowed to fester, guilt strips us of our most valuable qualities as warriors. If I could do it all over again, I would have followed Malco to the front lines no matter what. That way, even if the outcome stayed the same, I still would have... There are critical junctures in life, and if you don't seize the chance to act, There's no going back. That's something I had to learn in hindsight.
Thank you, Vichama. I feel even more determined now. Kachina will come back to us. I promised I would find her, and I—
That's good to hear.
Once abyssal corrosion enters the body, a portion will fuse itself to your internal organs. Even though the Traveler possesses powers of purification, the corrosion can never be fully eradicated. Thanks to him, though, you were only briefly exposed. Slowing your breathing and— Just speaking from experience.
Anyway, we've recovered Kachina's ancient name, so we're off to a great and apologize for destroying the Spirit Speaker Stone. We had no
Koichi, are you really gonna just stand?
I think you know exactly what I'm trying to say, Uncle Wina.
Honestly, it's just one. They're back.
Koichi?
Don't play dumb with your own sister. My apologies, everyone. I just need to borrow
I'll be just a moment.
Who was that?
Koichi, Chaska's younger sister. Although the two aren't actually related by blood, it's not really my story to tell, but I guess it's not a secret. She was afflicted with a rare disease when she was a child, and abandoned in the wild as a result. That strength of will pushed her to survive, but it also planted a seed of conflict within her. Eventually, she was adopted.
For some reason, Paimon can totally imagine.
Well, when Chaska finally returned to human society, it was Koichi's parents who adopted her. At the time, Chaska still had a habit of getting into fights.
Ah, I remember those days. One of those fights was definitely with me. But eventually, she found a way to rein in that desire to fight. And now she's— It sounds like she still argues with Koichi, though. Don't siblings?
That's partly my fault. Koichi asked me to stop Chaska from doing anything dangerous, but you probably know by now.
Oh, I get it. No one—
I'm all for your adventure. You need to take risks when you're young, because by the time you're my age, still, I can understand where Koichi's coming from.
All right, it's just the two of us now. You have 1 minute.
I don't have anything to say. You don't have to approve, but you should—
That attitude is exactly the problem. It's like you don't care.
Well, technically I am going abroad, right?
Again with the excuses! We agreed, didn't we? There are 4 levels of danger. If it's not something urgent, you can only engage in level 2 danger and below. But a trip to the Night Kingdom? If that's not a—
What do you mean, sneak into the place? I always planned on walking in—
You bought off Uncle Wina, didn't you? He promised me he'd stop you from doing—
You feel like he went back on his word. What if I told you my mind was made up, and there was—
Oh, I knew it! So—
This is important. If you were in my shoes—
You don't know that! I'm a doctor, and I handle logistics. If you're going to waltz into a dangerous situation—
All right, whatever.
What do you mean, anything else? Why don't you reflect on what you've done?
Time out. Is this one of our normal arguments, or—
Chaska, does it sound like I'm joking?
Then— you need to know something. What happened to Kachina—
But the person you become when you lose control—
That's a different issue. You said it yourself. A person is only as good as their morals.
I've also told you that managing your condition is equal.
Sometimes you have to make sacrifices. All right, let's stop this here. If we keep going, I might actually have to get serious.
Is that a threat? That sounds like a threat to me.
Koichi!
So, you're really going to go? No matter—
Then support me. I'll be back.
So, that's it.
You two.
Something you wanted to say?
I know you aren't related by blood.
Really?
You know, I said that very thing to Koichi not too long ago, and she reacted. It's not my place to get involved, but I will say this. Try to spend a...
Thank you.
Anytime. All right. If you're done with the spirits, according to Kinich, it's an important ceremonial artifact. So
If only Tone Deaf Bard was here, he could have repaired it just like...
It might be in a few more pieces than you remember.
Huh? I see. Sounds still. Citlali's going to be a nightmare to deal. Stay safe out there in the Night Kingdom, okay? I'll wait here for your safety.
We're back! We found Kachina's ancient name, too!
Well, it's fairly complicated. Let me give you the condensed version.
The Fatui again? We can't go anywhere without them causing trouble.
But what if the Fatui finds out you've lost your power? Won't they try to take advantage of the situation?
That's why it has to be our little secret. No one else... Look, I wish I could offer you some sort of consolation, but I won't lie to you. With multiple facts still, all you need to do is focus on...
I can also step in on the Pyro Archon's behalf. There's a limit to what I can accomplish.
There's no need to be so modest, Yan-san. Your incredible strength has long been a well-known fact. You're the pride of your tribe.
Archon, I'm sorry about before. You have so much on your plate, so much that you have to worry about. But all I could do was focus on my own feelings.
You have nothing to be sorry about. We all get overwhelmed by our emotions, myself included. Your reaction to Kachina's disappearance, I understand that feeling very well. Now that we have Kachina's ancient name, let's go track her down.
What is this place? Hey, isn't that Atea's talisman?
Good eye. This is where I store all the various mementos I've collected.
Whoa. I've never seen this place before. There's so many things in here.
It looks like there are items from every tribe. Collecting them must have taken a lot of effort.
I suppose you could think of it as a hobby of sorts. In Natlan, everyone grows up listening to the stories of heroes, and physical items do a far better job of preserving those stories than our own memory. Now, I still have some preparations to make for the ceremony, so feel free to take a look around in the meantime. If you're curious about an item, I'm more than willing to tell you about its origins.
All right, we'll have a look. This is Atea's...
I'm sure you're familiar with this one already. Atea was rarely... The powder still needs some time to settle, so let's wait a little longer. Well, what do you think of my collection? Do you feel like you have a better understanding of Natlan's...
Yeah! If each item... Does every item hold a special memory?
That's right. The items in my collection actually serve a similar purpose to the ancient. They demonstrate the true shape of time.
The shape of time?
Most people perceive time as a linear concept, almost like a straight line that can only move forward. But there's also a different theory, one that
At once? Paimon's not sure she...
Let's say your journey ended right now. Thinking back on your experience in each... Exactly. Even at the end of your journey, the things you experienced along the way don't take out a portion of that journey, and you would likely make very different decisions. And eventually, the future is the same way. It exists even though it... Of course, there are those with the power to foresee the future. They simply call it by a different name. Fate.
That does kinda...
Humanity excels at living in the present, but too often we forget the past and neglect the future, while the pilgrimage and the Night Warden Wars lead us to a better future. Only by uniting the people of Natlan across countless eras can we fight back against an enemy as formidable to come up with such a set of rules. The first Pyro Archon must have possessed a level of insight That's correct. At first, he was a mortal man with no special power. After he ascended to the Divine Throne, he used it to borrow power from the heavens and establish the rules of Natlan. Namely, a framework through which ordinary people can ascend to Archon. By holding the pilgrimage, we're able to determine the strongest among us. And when that person ascends to the Divine Throne, their inner flame will awaken. In addition, the sacred flame will grant them significant knowledge and memory of this land. After all...
So, it all comes down to the power of the divine... Wait, is that a family portrait?
Yes. That's my mother, father, younger sister, and the little saurians we raised. I turned a piece of my dad's leather armor into a canvas and commissioned a famous artist to paint.
Your sister is so cute! Paimon was having a hard time thinking of an Archon as an ordinary person, but it really doesn't look like there was anything special about you before. Oh, wait, is Paimon allowed to say that?
A little late for that question, don't you think?
Sorry! Paimon's so sorry! Paimon's...
It's all right. I'd never get upset over something like... No matter what others may say, my past is a precious part of my identity. I'm forever proud of the life I used to lead. Becoming the Archon doesn't mean you sever ties with your family. The position just comes with a lot of responsibilities. My father made the most delicious stew, so my sister would often bring me a large pot of his cooking, and he would sit on a blanket and eat it together. One time, we didn't close the door securely, and the saurians you were raising ran into the room and knocked over the... My sister immediately burst into tears. The two troublemakers were going for the meat, but when they saw my sister's distress, they froze on the spot. I still remember the way they laid there, sulking like a pair of children, even after making such a mess. It was frustrating, but in the end, all I could do was comfort my sister.
Wow.
Isn't that what being a family is all about? I think about that story a lot. As the Archon, I made a vow to defend this nation, and experiences like that, they remind me exactly what I'm trying to protect.
Well, what happened after that? This portrait looks pretty old. Your sister must be all grown up by now, right?
I believe she ended up working as an architect and artist. She built many houses and crafted many beautiful works. Anyway, that's enough about me. Now that the powder is settled, we can begin. Ian-san, Mulani, Chaska, over here, please. Place the ancient name up there, and then we'll begin. Surely as the echoes of life resound through heaven and earth, so too shall our stories remain eternal. Ancient name, take us to your fated bearer. Allow her to answer our call.
Am I hallucinating again?
Kachina, are you okay?
Huh? I'm not seeing things, am I?
It's okay, Kachina. It's just us. We're trying to find a way to bring you back.
Everyone, you have to listen to me. I've been investigating the Night Kingdom this entire time, and I figured out what's wrong. I was waiting for the Y-Up to send me back, but then this really strong monster came in and the Y-Up saved me, even though its power is weakening. So I've been hiding from the monsters while the Night Kingdom has become a huge mess, though.
Don't listen to those sounds, Kachina. The Abyss is trying to strip you of your sanity. All you need to do is stay safe and wait for us.
It's okay. I feel so much better now that I've had the chance to talk to you guys. I've never been strong or special at all, really. So I don't blame anyone for forgetting about me or leaving me behind. I'll find a way back. You don't have to put yourselves in danger to come rescue.
You're always like this, Kachina. Now's not the time to act tough. I don't know what lies the Abyss has been feeding you, but I'll tell you something right now. Nope, you're a victor of the Night Warden Wars, a hero of Natlan. All you need to do is...
I'm still... I don't want you to put yourselves in danger because...
All you need to do is place your trust in us, just like you always have. No one fights alone. We're not leaving you behind. Not ever.
Yeah, we're so close, we can't call it quits now!
Looks like we've lost contact. Now comes the most dangerous part. This entrance to the Night Kingdom was left behind after an abyssal invasion. Even a brief...
I know.
All right. Then I wish you all the best. I'll tell Koichi to be ready just in case she's... That face you just made.
No, I just...
I'll go with them too, Archon.
Thank you so much for your help, everyone.
Now that I've lost my power, I won't be able to provide much practical support. But I can still keep an eye on the situation from here. Ian-san, I know it's unlikely, but if you encounter a situation you can't handle...
That won't happen.
I hope not.
Boring! Isn't there anything else more interesting to do?
Wind strike!
So we're underneath Natlan right now? It looks...
That's because in the distant past, Natlan was home to an incredibly advanced civilization ruled by dragons. Humans only established their own society after the fall of the dragons.
So these are Saurian ruins? Wait, you mean like the elemental sovereigns?
Yes, a really long time ago. Very few records have survived until now, so no, these ruins have been abandoned for a long time. But with the recent increase in Abyss activity...
So what you're saying is...
No. It's going to be obstacle after obstacle from...
Why are you all at...
It's the pre-adventure excitement kicking in!
Of course. I'm eager to get started.
Then let's go. We won't let anything stand in our way.
Yep. It seems like the road ends here. How should we get across?
As a professional trainer, I think you could stand to build up your endurance, Paimon.
Professional trainer? Paimon thought you were a warrior from the Collective of Planning.
Well, that goes without saying. But I actually work as a sports coach. I provide professional guidance for many of Natlan's popular sports. And I don't just mean physical training. I design nutrition plans as well.
Ah, so... Those guys look familiar.
We've fought them before. Let's go. Show no mercy.
Time to shine!
As one with wind and cloud! Into the wind!
Breaking news!
Let the mighty be humble!
Whoa, the place we need to go seems really high up.
One with nature!
Smile! Let my name echo in song!
Fallen leaves, adorn my night! The wind knows me. Time to go.
Hold that pose!
Silence!
Let the world collide!
As one with wind and cloud!
Shoot! Smile! Oh, my camera!
The time is near.
This is the final stretch. We just need to climb up, and we'll be there. Nothing to it. Easy for you to say.
This must be the entrance the Pyro Archon told us about. The one ripped open by the Abyss.
Yes.
We act okay. Paimon just needs to psych herself. Hey! You don't have to drag Paimon! You're pulling too hard!
Looks like we made it. This is the night. It looks so... That overflow of energy is probably what trapped Kachina here.
From this point forward, everything we know about the real world no longer applies.
Paimon's more worried about how we're gonna make it out. Yep.
Do you see that patch of light on the ground? It's shining down from that fissure in the sky.
Oh yeah, right in front of us. So that's coming from up there?
Just like I said, our real-world knowledge doesn't apply here. We felt if this was the real world, we'd have to climb our way back up to the entrance.
That's it? Right.
So that means all we need to do is find Kachina.
Exactly. This light is streaming in...
The terrain looks... Yeah, these floating black...
Those are all manifestations of abyssal power. Be careful.
Ghost! A talking ghost!
Calm down, I'm here to help. You're the ones who helped Vichama, right? Yes, I'm Vichama's friend, Malco. I was completely lost to this realm until I sensed... It's like it was seeking me out, attempting to reassemble the pieces of who I used to be. Of course, it could only do so much. I'm sorry I can only appear before you in this imperfect...
No, we should be the ones apologizing. If the Spirit Speaker's stone hadn't become corrupted by the Abyss, but we had to destroy it. Otherwise, Vichama and his...
Of course. Thank you for protecting him. I never imagined that. Under the power of the stone, it felt like our souls were connected. Turns out even our regrets were exactly the same.
Whether in triumph or death, you want your best friend by your side.
Exactly. That may not be in the cards for us, but you're looking for a young girl from the Children of Echoes, right? She's been... I'd like to help her while I'm still in this form, so follow me. Be careful. This place has been severe.
Paimon didn't realize it had gotten this bad.
It's like a seething volcano ready to engulf our world at any moment.
Ouch!
Quick, get back here. You can't go on. Stick close to me. My power will be able to ward off attacks for the time being. We won't be able to keep this up. Let's try another route. This way. More monsters.
We shouldn't waste our time on them.
Adorn my night!
Breaking you! Hold that pose!
Settle down.
Being too popular can be such a hassle. Who knew the people would adore me so much?
Oh, Paimon can't see anything!
It's easy to get lost here. Just stick close.
Did you hear that?
What?
Never mind.
Don't scare Paimon like that!
I heard it too.
What did it say?
Doesn't matter.
Paimon just heard it too! Let's keep going. Paimon wants to get out of this place!
We're here, Kachina! Oh, honey? Looks like our reunion will have to wait until we take care of... Good idea. Let's... Time to shine!
Clouds high, the birds call, one with nature.
You're here! You're finally here! Thank you so much! The monster can appear from anywhere! The YF's power helped keep me hidden, so I just tried...
Had a girl. You did so...
Should we start heading back then? Actually, I have a request. Will you come... I can't exactly put it into words, but... something's wrong with...
That was the Pyro Archon's theory as well.
In the Night Kingdom, there are 6 main totem poles representing the Wyab. You can think of them like the body of each Wyab. Additional totem poles, like the ones around here, serve as proxies to... There are countless proxies scattered around the Night Kingdom. But if a proxy were to become severely contaminated, then a soul could become lost with...
Judging by the current situation, I don't think we're dealing with just one contaminated proxy.
Still, we can't just leave the YF to suffer.
I agree. We might even manage to draw out... Getting rid of the monster might slow down the deterioration of the Night Kingdom.
Kachina? What?
Nothing. Just a headache. Maybe we really should leave. Kachina's our... No, I'm fine. Just up ahead. I'll lead the way. Besides, I can...
Listen to me, Kachina. We'll come with you. But that's because we want to help the YUP. You don't have anything to prove either. It's okay if you're—
All right. The sooner we get—
We've already come all this way, so we might as well try to—
Let's go. This—
I'll stay here and try to stall the Abyss monster.
all by yourself?
It's all right. I may not be as strong as that monster, but I don't have much time left. If you're anything like my friend, I'm sure you're not particularly fond of goodbyes. So go.
Thank you for everything.
You're a true—
No one fights alone.
Does your head still hurt? Let me help you walk.
I'm fine, I'm fine. You should know I'm made of stronger stuff than that. Wyab? Wyab! I'm back! My friends and I are here to heal you. Wyab, can you hear?
So we were right. The contamination is already too severe. All right, get ready, everyone. Time to purge the abyssal energy from this place.
Careful. We've got company.
Already?
You really think that puny soul could slow me down? You tried to get in my way. You would have dispersed with or without me. Rather, you may have defeated others of my kind in the past, but No. The power of the Abyss is intoxicating. The destruction it seeks I thought this naive little girl was an exception, but it turns out that is the tragedy of your short lives. You understand nothing of all-encompassing ancient names, pride, friendship, all empty ideas. In fact, the Pyro Archon created those grandiose ideals out of pure selfishness. And if you don't believe me, then ask yourself, why is the Pyro Archon strong beyond measure, while you, Kachina, remain—
Kachina, give me your hand. Feel that? I'm right here next to you.
Thanks, Moalani. You're right. I have nothing to fear, because I'm not alone anymore.
You're right. Maybe comforting ideals don't have any power, but you also couldn't be more wrong. You've never had to work for your own strength, so you will never understand the—
What?
The courage we have to stand before you and not back down. The power lies not in the ideal, but in our commitment to upholding that ideal. And in our decision to stand—
Well said!
Let's go, Kachina. It shouldn't take more than 2 of us to handle an enemy like this.
Sorry in advance.
There aren't many in Nat—
To this world!
Woohoo! Check this out! Carving waves!
won! We actually won!
That's what he gets for underestimating. Fantastic work, Kachina. Absolutely This makes me so unbelievable.
I'm happy too, Mualani. Together we really are unstoppable.
Huh? My ancient name is glowing? But I thought I didn't bring it with me.
It's probably a projection from the real world. But that doesn't explain why it's glowing all of a sudden.
Wait, does that?
That was a bold move, diving headfirst into the fire to save your friend, especially in a place so overrun with abyssal corruption. Still, seeing you pull it off was really something. Everything you said was exactly right. As isolated individuals, we stand no chance against the power of the Abyss. It took years' worth of scars and lots of unnecessary suffering for me to... The Pyro Archon's plan will unite us as one. Only then will we have the power to defeat the strongest of foes.
Who are you?
Tupac, a warrior from the people of the Springs. I fought against the Abyss during the invasion 500 years ago.
I've heard that name before. You were the giant who saved all of Natlan.
Since you were able to awaken my words from your ancient name, that means you have fully embodied the aspirations of the Wyab. Under the name Umoja, you shall unite the tribes and save Natlan from its impending doom.
Me?
As long as blood still runs through your veins, even the tiniest spark of steel against stone can ignite a flame. Its blaze will become one with our vision for Natlan. Even amid everlasting darkness, our bonds remain eternal.
What's wrong, Mualani?
Ah, so many memories. My brain was just flooded with everything he once knew. So that's what happened.
What do you mean? Did you just figure something out?
500 years ago, they foresaw the very crisis we're facing now. Efforts to save Natlan started all the way.
We can go over the details once we get back. We shouldn't linger here longer. I know bits and pieces, but I had no idea Mualani... This sounds like something that's going to need a lot of explaining. Okay, that should be enough. Wyab? Wyab? Can you hear me?
I hear your voice, Kachina, my dear child.
Great. Well then, I'm afraid it's time to say goodbye. I just wanted to make sure you were okay before we leave. I was going to ask why you bestowed an ancient name. I'll keep searching within myself for the answer.
You are already an outstanding child in my eyes, Kachina. No matter what happens.
Huh?
You are all my most beloved children. It has always been my honor to protect and nurture. Your ancient name is just that. A name. Much like your parents, focus on who you want to be. You are already worthy of your name. Now, you need the story of your ancient name is for you to continue. Just like your parents.
Thank you, Wyab.
It gladdens me to see the Pyro Archon's plan move another step towards go now, my children. Save Natlan on behalf.
I know we've never met before, Wyab, but I just wanted to say thank you for encouraging Kachina. It was exactly what she needed to hear.
Whoa! What's going on? An earthquake?
We're out of time. It's the power of the Abyss. Quick, we need to run!
It's a Seelie! The Seelie opened the way for us! The opening in the sky! It's closing!
We need to hurry, or we'll be stuck here!
Watch out for the falling rocks!
Quick, through the middle!
Come on, faster! We'll never make it!
You've done well. Now come home.
We're back! The Pyro Archon saved us.
But she's not here. Yeah, didn't she say she used it all up?
She's still in the Speaker's Chamber. What we saw in the Night Kingdom was just her
So you're saying her...
Every great display of power. You must feel terrible, Kachina. Just hold on. Let's get back to the stadium. The Pyro Archon said she'd have...
I recommend getting a full checkup, just to make sure no damage.
Paimon feels okay. What about you, Traveler? Right. You always seem to...
Let's get going. We need to share what we learned in the Night King...
Right. The Wyab mentioned something about the Pyro Archon's plan. What...
I'll let her explain everything. We're all up every move we make from here on...
a lot less stuff here than before.
It's good to see you all here in one piece. I know you must have a lot of questions, but let Koichi check you over first. It's best not to let any lingering effects of the Abyss go untreated.
Thank goodness you made it back. I came here as soon as the Pyro Archon told me about your plan. Take a seat, everybody. I'll examine you one by one. All right, that should do it for now. I have to say, though, I've never seen anyone react to the Abyss like you, Traveler.
He always has been special like that. He can even purify its power. Wait, now that you mention it, Paimon doesn't—
Given the current situation, that ability will likely play a great role in the events to come.
Of course. I still have patients to see, so I'll head out.
Thank you, Koichi.
All right, all right. We might not see eye to eye, but just give it time.
Yeah.
All right. There's so much to discuss, I don't even know where to begin. You've seen it for yourselves now. I'll get straight to the point. Natlan is on the verge of destruction. It's very possible our nation has less than a year before total devastation.
Huh? No.
That's right. But I've only ever disclosed that fact to the handful of people working with me to save. Our looming destruction is not a recent development, but the inevitable conclusion of the disaster the Abyss initiated
Mualani told us a little bit about that.
500 years ago. All the nations of Teyvat were invaded by the Abyss. Unlike the other nations, Natlan never had stable and deep-rooted ley lines, so we suffered the worst of the invasion. The battle against the Abyss was exceedingly long and brutal. In the end, victory came at the cost of our civilization and countless lives. Even then, it took centuries of solving the disasters caused by the Abyss to finally achieve the peace we know today. And still, this is but a superficial victory. The forces of the Abyss have merely been driven back underground.
I'd never—
The problems plaguing the Night Kingdom are all the more complicated because that realm is essentially immediately after the war. Our calculations estimated that we would have a maximum of 500 years before the Night Kingdom was completely lost to the Abyss. But at that time, we were a nation of the destitute. Our people no longer believed in victory, nor did they hold hope for the future. Our civilization was dying, our faith crumbling, and the line of power passed down from the Wyab nearly severed. If we didn't bring the nation back together, it would be foolish to even dream of defeating the Abyss in the future. So, the Archon had a long and involved discussion with the heroes of each tribe, and finally came up with a 500-year-long plan to save Natlan.
So that's what happened. After finding Kachina, I encountered a strange figure who gave me since the plan was mentioned in those memories. I guess, but there's still something I don't understand. Those memories showed me the Pyro Archon from back then. And it was you.
Huh? But that doesn't make any sense! The Pyro Archon is supposed to be human!
That's right. The hardest thing for humans to overcome has always been a god can extend a human's life by using a certain amount of divine power, or subjecting them to a curse. But, as we all know, Natlan doesn't have gods like that. We can only rely on our own methods. A human life is like a flame destined to be extinguished. 500 years ago, I placed my life within the sacred flame. Only by dying before my time could I have the chance to wake up again.
So, in other words, this is your second life?
Yes. We only managed to defeat the Abyss all those years ago because the tribes came together as one. If the Natlan of the future was to have a fighting chance, the Pyro Archons that came after the war had to rebuild the decimated tribes. The goal was to reunite the people and restore the strength of each tribe's Wyab. Once a tribe was back to its full strength, the tribe's Wyab would select a hero, indicating the tribe was once again ready for war. The Chosen would then stand by my side in defense of our nation, just like great heroes of old, 500 years ago.
So that means I'm one of the Chosen?
That's right. You bear the ancient name Umoja, the same one held by the hero from your tribe 500 years ago. It means unity. After your adventure in the Night Kingdom, I trust you've come to fully understand the meaning of that name.
So in other words, you always knew who the YTTA were going to pick from each tribe?
Yes. According to the plan, each tribe was supposed to have been fully restored by the time I awoke. But something went wrong along the way. The 6 heroes successfully inherited the ancient names from 500 years ago, but the intel regarding the plan wasn't passed on to them. Once again, it comes down to the deterioration of the Night Kingdom. Communication between the Sacred Flame and the YTTA has been blocked.
Just like how the Ode of Resurrection failed to bring Kachina back.
Exactly. It's just another tactic the Abyss is using against us. The Abyss may not possess intelligence, but its methods certainly aren't easy to counter. If we want to unblock that information from being passed on, my presence alone isn't enough. The ancient name-bearer must establish a greater connection to their name. So, I've tried my best to help them from the sidelines. Currently, Shilonen of the Children of Echoes, Kinich of the Scions of the Canopy, and Iansan of the Collective of Plenty have all been acknowledged by their names. During your adventure, you too earned the acknowledgement of your YTTA, Mualani. In the process, you gained the memories stored within your name.
But we have less than a year!
Yes, but we have no choice. We cannot start the plan until all the heroes have been gathered. That's also why I haven't been able to take action despite the urgency of the situation.
But if you knew this whole time, why didn't you just tell me about my role in all this? Wouldn't that make everything go a lot faster?
Perhaps, but the opposite could also be true. Knowing your destiny too early could mean failing to realize your full potential. Just like your determination to save Kachina, I hope your commitment to this endeavor comes from your own strength of will, rather than a sense of obligation.
So I suppose you're not going to tell us who the final 2 heroes are then?
That's right. Their time is yet to come. Putting pressure on them beforehand will only hinder their development. I can only trust in the judgment of the YTTA. I have never believed I could solve this crisis alone. In fact, it was precisely because I chose to trust and rely on others that we managed to get this far. Natlan's salvation lies not in its Archon or any singular individual, but in us all. You're quite perceptive, aren't you? I thought I might get away with avoiding the topic.
Huh? Oh, right! All of the stuff you stored here before, where did it all go?
Even though I sacrificed my power, I still needed a contingency plan to ensure you would make it back from the Night Kingdom. After all, I was the one who allowed you to take that risk, and Mualani has an important role to play in my plan. In addition to their sentimental value, the items I stored here held a much more important purpose: fuel.
Fuel? Ah, so back then, that's why you...
Yes. The stories embodied by those items are certainly important, but there's an even more significant trait they all share. Every item belonged to a hero of Natlan. Over time, they became imbued with a certain amount of contending fire from being carried in battle. On their own, each item's power is limited, but together their combined effect can prove quite useful in a dire situation. By burning those items, I was able to activate the contending fire stored within them to open the boundary between the 2 worlds. It was a rather crude approach, so all their power was depleted in an instant, as you can see.
But weren't they all precious treasures? What about their stories?
That's exactly why I dragged you all here. No matter what, I never wanted the Pyro Archon to have to use that power. Oh, I'm so sorry.
You have nothing to be sorry for. You all deserve my thanks, actually. If you hadn't saved the totem pole, that area of the Night King, and then it would only be a matter of time before the Children of Echoes was met with disaster. Besides, when those heroes entrusted their belongings to me, or the Pyro Archon of their time, it was out of a desire to contribute to Natlan's survival. If they knew those items helped save the present-day heroes of Natlan, they would not mourn their loss.
Even when you put it that way, I still feel bad.
There's no need. Remember what I told you about time? The people and the events of the past are never truly lost to us. We simply carry them with us in a different form. If you still have regrets, let them fuel your resolve in the battles to come. Your deeds will become new legends and nurture new forms of power just like the items once.
Well, we'd still like to return the favor.
Well, if that's the case, just treat me to a drink sometime. Now that Kachina has returned, we can finally hold the victory feast, and we could all use the rest, that's for sure. Plus, you'll be able to silence every—
Still, now that I know the danger we're facing...
Try not to let it get to you. It's important to stay calm. Worrying about it will only affect your job. All right. You should head out. I'll...
When I was young, I used to sit by the hot springs and listen to the stories of warriors from all over Natlan. They attract people from all walks of life. Friends come easy here, no matter what tribe you're from. The people of the springs have never claimed the hot springs as their own private property. They are there to bring all hot spring buddies together. It's been really nice, seeing the children of my tribe get older. It's helped me gradually understand the true value of the springs. I've witnessed their energy, their determination, their absolute passion for life. Even when they cause trouble, I never managed to hold on to my anger for long. It's unbelievable how quickly they worm their way back into my good graces. I'm certain Mualani will become a great warrior when she grows up. She possesses infinite potential. I can see it. One day, when I'm no longer in fighting form, I'll come here and tell stories to all the children, just like those warriors did for me. So, you better get busy, Pyro Archon, or I'll end up running out of stories.
Our nation is engulfed in darkness. Our tribes stand divided, and yet you promise victory in the distant future. The Abyss is a cunning enemy, one that I faced in battle many times. My rage will never know absolution, and my power will no longer aid you in victory. But you came to me because you knew you could convince me with just a single sentence. I understand your choice. The heroes of today will forge the path ahead with blood and fire. Just remember to earn us the victory we are owed. Otherwise, rest assured, I'll find a way to collect the debt. For Natlan.
So, you're gonna head 500 years in the future to serve as the Pyro Archon again? But what about the you from right now? You're just gonna die?
You can't ask her those questions and expect her to answer, my dear. The decision is hers to make, and she deserves our support. We will do everything we can to rebuild the tribes. Don't you worry. Even across time, we will all do our part to fight for Natlan's future.
Yeah, Mom's right. We'll always believe in you, sis. Oh, seriously though, Dad should—
I imagine he didn't know what to say, so he chose not to come at all. Just remember, no matter what happens in the future, we will always love you.
I'll come find you one day. I know I can't live that long, but I'll think of something. There has to be a way for us to meet again one day. If there's an answer out there somewhere, I'm gonna find it. So, don't forget about me.
If that's your decision, then you have my full support, Archon.
May our children live to see such a lovely son.
For Natlan!
No one fights alone.
The rules are my legacy. They shall grant us the strength to overcome the next tragedy.
War forged the 6 tribes, taught us how to fight, instilled in us what it means.
Who will be the one to bring this to an...
We are the inheritors of memory and legend. Those who grew alongside sun and wind. Those who forged our own destiny and future. That is Natlan's fire, the lifeblood of our nation.
You here for the victory feast too?
Oh, no. I knew Chaska would be here, so I just came to deliver it's not that I don't want to celebrate Kachina and the others. I'm so glad she made it back.
Ah, well, you two had a fight, so Paimon can understand.
She didn't cause any trouble during your trip, right?
Yeah, she was super helpful. She gave us a lot of useful information about the Abyss.
That's good. That's all I need.
Is there a reason you asked? You were pretty outspoken when we first met, but now...
Maybe it seemed unreasonable, picking that fight with her before. Her impulse to fight is extremely strong. Her mental strength helps her rein it in, but she still loses.
So what you're saying is...
Okay, so maybe it sounds a little stupid, but it works pretty well. It helps. Anyway, I'm just glad you were able to make it.
What? Do you really have to go that far?
No way. Chaska never opens up about her own pain. I appreciate the understanding, and don't worry. I'll find a way to help her ease this burden. Oh, and if you ever need a doctor, you know who to find.
Huh. Who would have thought there was a deeper reason behind... In the end, it's all the Abyss's fault.
Let's give a huge round of applause to our brave young warrior, Kachina!
Woohoo! Well done, Kachina. Thank you, everyone. I'm so glad I finally made it.
I always knew you could do it. With so much potential at your age, you have a great future ahead of you.
You're one to talk. Don't think I didn't know you were the first person to abandon your team. I'll be dealing with you when we get back.
I had no choice. My friend invited me. I couldn't.
Oh, really? So you weren't just trying to get ahead in the first round?
I wasn't, I swear. I just happened to find that bearer injured in the wild. So I stopped to bandage when he insisted on repaying the favor. What was I supposed to do? I'm just one person. I figured Kachina would have no—
But the fact of the matter is that after your departure, everyone else started thinking about swapping teams.
I'm really sorry, Kachina. It was wrong of us to abandon you like that.
It's amazing that you still made it all the way through to the Night Warden Wars.
So, what about you guys?
Our team captain drank too much the night before the competition and turned up late to this.
Serves you all right.
All right. There's no need to be— dear friends, I'd like to say a few words. Firstly, I'm grateful to my friends and our great Archon for helping to bring me back. This traveler and his companion Paimon are some of the strongest people I've ever met. If they've agreed to let me learn from them. With their help, I believe I can become even— And let's not forget my good friends, Moalani, Chaska, Kanich, and Dayon-san. They all helped the trap. They too deserve to be called our heroes. So, please—
Well said!
I'll drink to that. To be honest, it's a bit overwhelming. Well, you better get used to it. Next up, undefeated champion! Hey, please don't make fun of me.
Ah, you're here. Have some fruit juice. I got it specially for you two.
How did you know? That's Paimon's favorite!
You look like you've still got questions. Ask away. Because they had the thought of telling them, abandon your families and everyone you love, and come with me to the end of time. For in 500 years, Natlan will be destroyed. You could just as easily point out that everything in this world would come to an end eventually. But life— imagine if I said, let's leave right now, and go save the sun because it'll flame out in a few million years. I couldn't make them shoulder that burden. Besides, every generation will have its heroes, this one included. Or, of course, without me. But since I was the one who came up with the plan, I felt duty-bound to see it through to the end.
Paimon's suddenly remembering that portrait in your room. Was that your—
Yes, it was. So when you asked me who my sister grew up to be, the truth is that from what I've been able to piece together, I can conclude with she played an instrumental role in rebuilding the scions of the Canopy tribe, designing and building many houses. Still, it was an impressive achievement, and I'm very proud of her. You feel lost keenly. It seems to stir up feelings of regret in you. But this is something I have long since come to terms with. This is a war, and there can be no war without loss. I am already far more fortunate than those who lost their lives to the Abyss. The people of Natlan look to me as their Archon, and the weight of their expectations is mine to bear. I must see our fate through to the very end, no matter what I may find.
Yeah, doesn't that mean the way
I suppose, but so what? Don't forget, time takes many forms. The past, present, and future coexist, and even if the future ends in destruction, there's still no reason to and it's precisely because we humans cannot know our fate. This is a pivotal moment. Well, 3, to be precise. There's one for your resistance to the corrupting power of the Abyss is truly remarkable. If you agree to join us, you will not only gain my full support in your journey, but I will also forge a brand new ancient name.
Ancient names?
They can. Several strict conditions must be met, but if they possessing an ancient name would mean that your adventures in Natlan are recorded in the Ode of Resurrection may have temporarily lost its power, but still. Take this as my personal guarantee that I shall never let you fall. Just like in the Night Kingdom, I will be there for you. That is a promise I will fulfill at all costs. This nation always honors its heroes.
Yeah, we can't just ignore the situation.
Wonderful. Then I'll reach out to Shilonen right away. We've never forged an ancient name for an Outlander before, but...
My lord, we've received word that the Pyro Archon has lost much of her power. Although your injury complicates things, this is most certainly the opportune time to seize the Gnosis.
Victory and defeat are rules, not outcomes. I have never taken advantage of an opponent in a time of weakness, and I don't intend to start now. As for you, I must confess, I did not expect that little trick of yours to save—
No matter how dense the fog, as long as the sun remains, we cannot turn day into night. She could— You don't have much time. And you're injured on top of that. What do you—
I'm beginning to see just how useful you may turn out to be. You heard something from here, didn't you?
Oh, something else you'd like to ask? Well, our intel suggests he hasn't made any new movements yet. Although Kenichi's investigation helped us confirm that he's being aided. I'm getting closer to narrowing down who that may be, but it's still unclear whether this person aided the captain out of will. If you learn anything about this during your adventures, please. Oh, something else you'd like? The Abyss is the most formidable enemy in all of Teyvat. In the beginning, it took failure and all of the methods you've seen in other nations were developed based on experience and insight passed down over generations. It's the same for the method we use here in Natlan. Ever since ancient— As for the principles behind it, I'm afraid you might have to seek answers from someone— Oh, something else you'd like to ask? That also comes down to the long-standing effects of the Abyss. Our people's survival is inextricably tied to but their power has its limits. They cannot offer our people the same degree of protection outside our borders. In fact, people who do decide to leave often suffer. Everyone in Natlan understands this. That's why our people never leave without a good cause. Even if someone is left with no choice, the chief of their and the YTTA have always been very strict about granting that approval, since extending protection beyond our borders means consuming power reserved for our fight against the Abyss. Still, there's no need to worry. The YTTA extend their Oh, something else you'd like to ask?
Ad Astra. Thank you for Ad Astra.
Wherever in this world I roam,